back to March 26, 1962. This is really the very end of this war of independence that lasted several years. And that day, several European were trying to support French sovereignty on Algeria. And so they were trying to demonstrate. The demonstration was not authorized, and the French army fired on them and killed at least 50 of those civilians. And since that day, those who were forced to leave Algeria at the independence and have come back to France have been asking for some recognition that indeed the French army killed civilians that day. And so this is what the French president did exactly by talking about a massacre, number one, and then saying that it was unforgivable for the Republic to have accomplished such a massacre and never having fully addressed it. And he's the first president to do so.
What did you make of his words? I mean, what do you think the political reaction to it might be?
Well, clearly there's always a political side to the Franco-Algerian relationship. Emmanuel Macron has already made a few gestures. He apologized to the so-called Harkis, those Muslims who were fighting in the French army and were essentially abandoned after the independence in 1962. A few months back, he also took responsibility for a massacre of pro-independence demonstrator in Paris in October 1961. And so now he's also addressing those who were forced to leave by acknowledging what happened to them and by also saying that the way they were brought back to France in 1962 was a shameful way. So he knows that this community, first of all, tends to vote on the right or on the far right, and he's hoping maybe to get some votes from there. The problem is it also creates tensions with Algeria. The situation is already very tense with Algeria. The diplomatic ties were nearly broken off because of some words Emmanuel Macron said a few months ago about the Algerian regime using this very sensitive memory of the War of Independence for political purposes. So it's a very fine line he has to balance, and so today he tried to address one of the aspects of that war.
Really interesting. Thanks very much indeed, Mark Perelman, for us.